Hello everyone. I will be talking about the contextual approach in career counseling. So this was made by Ivan Bosmort-Nagy. He had a background about being a psychiatrist. He studied schizophrenia, and his major influences were Martin Buber, the philosophical anthropologist who is given credit by Ivan for guiding thoughts on relational ethics. And he also made a major influence on the object relations theory. So, what is contextual theory? It is a theoretical approach to understand human behavior through concepts such as trust, the give and take that exists within relationships, fairness between family members, entitlement, and exoneration. It implies that there is a relational imperative about life, that we understand ourselves through the relationships we have with others, as they understand themselves through the relationships with us. It responds to the call of a comprehensive theory of career processes in terms of career counseling. It integrates the concept of goal without being too rational. It deals with goals and actions without being individualistic as well. It is an integrative conceptualization for practical purposes. It is a complex system of reasoning, basic statements, explicated assumptions, methodological postulates, and prescription for practice. Some of the basic beliefs of contextual theories. It is based on premise that relationships are healed through strengthening the trust, commitment, loyalty, reciprocity among family members, and it is known as a theory of theories. It has 4 dimensions of the relational theory. We have facts, psychology, transactions, and relational ethics. Facts talks about the pre-existing factors, the unavoidable conflict and consequences. Psychology is the external and internal relationship of personality. And we have transactions talking about the system theory through power and transactions. We also have relational ethics. We have fairness, reciprocity, the give and take of relationships. So in terms of assessment, this approach is not driven by symptomatology. Its focus is on causes of behavior that allows therapists an opportunity to see human beings outside of their symptomatology. It is, in terms of individual psychology, it is only one-dimensional. It talks about trust, conflict, and resources, and of course the 4 dimensions. So what are the common misunderstandings of this approach? First, there is a monocausal relationship between the goals and behavior. So talking about the goals and behavior, one of these misunderstandings often encountered by counselors in the role of goals in the explanation of behavior. Although goal is an important concept, as the research on planned behavior indicates, contextual action theory does not suggest this causal explanation of consequent behavior. So, he said that goals are considered as key cognitions that are assumed in defining meaningful units of behavior. It is also people can readily relate to goals and use them to direct their own behavior. So the goal is also a concept that can be used in scientific research and systematic observation. The second misunderstanding is that actions can be equated or identified simply with goals. So, this talks about the goals being present just one dimension or one level of action. So actions talks about the systems, goals that are used to identify the unit of action. So it is important to know the goal of an action. So knowing the goal of an action is an important step in understanding the action that we will do, but it does not deliver detailed information about what steps or what aspects of the action that we will be acting upon on. So we need to know whether and how the goal of an action is used in our projects and careers, or how the action is organized in reference to this goal and performed in terms of movements and contexts. Another misunderstanding is that actions are directed only by rational and calculated goals. So, you know that some goals are often not reasonable. So, according to Epstein, he proposed that everyday actions are performed in an experiential modality, and that is far from rational. So, in our understanding of goals, these are imagined, striven for end states of processes for which cognitions are accessible to us. So, it is during ongoing action, project, and career. So, counselors should readily recognize the certain cognitions that possess decisive qualities during actions. So the fourth misunderstanding is the preset long-term goals that are needed to keep people motivated. So some authors, using the concepts of goals and actions, assumed that development can be fostered by following preset long-term individual goals. So furthermore, it inspired important research on agency, control, and empowerment as well. So however, this research was often a shortcut that overemphasized individual goals, control, and actions. It also did not clearly recognize the differences between a short-term action and a life goal. So lastly, one of the major misunderstandings of this approach or theory is that goals are primarily reflective. Although there are differences between an action goal and a project goal from the action theoretical view, pursuing either type of goal is not a sit-down or armchair activity. Counselors need to be able to determine whether the client's declared goals are anchored in action. They also need to be aware of whether the client's goals refer to short-term action, project, or career. So that's it. I hope you learned a lot from this short report about contextual action theory. Thank you.